Hi, girls. Welcome back to Pink Podcast. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about the things that our parents were actually right about. Okay, I know this is hard to believe. When I was growing up, I felt like everything that my parents were telling me to do or not to do was completely wrong. I'm like, these people just don't get it. You guys are so extra. You guys just aren't with the vibes. And now that I'm grown, I'm like, okay, I think you guys are right. And that's what today's episode is going to be about. Okay. I have compiled a whole list of a lot of repetitive advice or like lessons or things that my parents were saying growing up. I don't know if I can even get through this whole list because, parents. They got a lot of opinions. And so I wrote down a lot of the most common ones that I heard growing up and that I actually agree with now that I'm all grown up. I feel like once you reach, my favorite words, that frontal lobe development, you kind of really realize that they were maybe just right after all. And obviously, they were wrong too, but that's going to be a different episode, things that our parents were wrong about. This episode is going to be things that our parents were right about. So let's just get straight into it. And since we're talking about our parents for this episode, I thought what would be a more fitting outfit to wear than my mom's vintage 20-year-old skirt. This one I actually showed in my summer wardrobe video that I had made. So I felt like, what a better episode to wear it in than today's episode where I'm talking about my parents. Starting off strong, one that I feel like a lot of us heard is your friends now aren't going to be your friends later. And I remember distinctively like thinking at the time, you guys are so freaking dumb and wrong. Like these are my best friends. Like we're going to ride and die to the end. And obviously now you look back and you're like, I don't even know any of those people anymore. I feel like obviously for a lot of people is different, especially people in like small hometowns, or maybe you do have like really close friendships with people that you knew from early on. But I feel like for the majority of people, you aren't necessarily going to be in the same friend group from childhood to obviously adulthood. And that is the case for me. I just remember holding those relationships so close and dear to my heart. And, sometimes I would get into little arguments or something with my friends, and my parents would be like, you guys aren't going to be friends forever. Like, you're going to grow up and like different things, and you guys are going to grow apart. And that's like normal and natural. And I used to be like, no, like people just don't want to be your friends because you guys are annoying, but these are going to be my friends forever. And I'm here to say that they were actually right. Like, not even just like the high school and the middle school friendships, but even friendships that you make in early adulthood don't transcend and kind of last throughout all of your adulthood, I can say. At least not for me. I feel like obviously as you blossom into womanhood or just adulthood period, you obviously develop a lot more like sense of self and like where you want to be and what you like and all that stuff. And you kind of really start to realize like, okay, these people aren't aligned with that. Like you guys are into this, or we have completely different interests, or even just being in completely different points of our life. There's actually nothing wrong with that. And I feel like it's really nice when people can still hold a friendship even though you're in different parts of that growth. But I feel like it's kind of really natural and common for those relationships to kind of drift apart because you're not really in the same space, you're not really doing the same things, and it's kind of hard to bond at times when people are in such different spaces. So this is something I would definitely go back in time and tell my younger self, like, yo, they are right. Like, don't worry about these people. Like, you're definitely not gonna be their friends when you grow up. So relax. Now, this next one is one that my parents still tell me to this day. Well, not my parents, but my dad specifically, which is don't get tattoos. He actually likes to play dumb and look at the same couple of tattoos. Like I only have a handful and they're all kind of small. And he'll look at them and be like, when did you get this? I've had the same tattoos. Like I haven't gotten even any new tattoos since I was 22. And he'll still look at them and be like, when did you get this? He says that like every single time. My parents were so adamant about not getting tattoos. Neither one of my parents have any tattoos. So this is something that they were both very adamant about. And they used to just kind of like roast people with tattoos. They didn't really like tattoos. They just, I don't know. They had a problem with tattoos. I think they're a lot more over it now. Like my sister has got tattoos. My brother is like fully covered, basically. Not really, but my brother has a lot of tattoos. I have a handful of tattoos. I think obviously they have like grown out of that opinion, but I wish I wouldn't have grown out of that opinion myself. Like, I wish I would have listened to them more because actually, I just wish that everybody would have to kind of wait till they were like 24 or 25-ish to start getting tattoos. I don't really hate any of the tattoos that I have. I actually just wish some of them, I had gotten like 3 tattoos at once on my 22nd birthday, and the tattoo artist that did it, I feel like he did a really bad job. So I just wish I would have got those like with a better artist. I don't really like hate any of them, but I also now look at my tattoos and I'm like, I don't really care for any of these. Like, yeah, they still like are true to me and they're like, a period of my life, but I'm like, I don't really care to have this on me. Like if it was a sticker, I would just take it off, but it's not a sticker. It's a tattoo. I feel like everybody should kind of wait till they're way more mature because I feel like tattoos are sort of similar to like your fashion or clothing preferences and stuff like that. Like you kind of grow into different phases of yourself. Like I remember how I dressed 2, 3 years ago, and it's nothing like how I dress now. And it's like kind of like being stuck with the same outfit forever, especially if you get like a bigger piece or a lot of tattoos. It's like now you're stuck with that aesthetic and vibe forever. And some people, obviously, they are cool with it. Like they're gonna agree with that version and that tattoo and that like choice that they made forever. But a lot of people kind of grow out of that decision. So I just feel like if you wait till you're a little bit more mature and just kind of have a fuller, wider understanding of how much you will change your mind, you will be a little bit more picky and choosy of what you actually decide to have on your skin forever, because it's literally on you forever. I mean, obviously you can get tattoo removals, but it's so expensive and so painful. And I feel like most people just kind of like learn to deal with it. But I see a lot of people on TikTok like getting a lot of tattoos removed, regretting a lot of them. And I'm like, you know what? If I would have got a really big tattoo instead of like these little ones, I would be on the same boat. I would be literally getting them lasered off as we speak. Now, this next one might be a little bit too specific. I don't know if everybody's parents were like this, but we obviously are immigrants from Cuba and we didn't have like paper towels and barely any toilet paper. Like, really, only rich people had toilet paper in Cuba, and it just wasn't common. So my parents were really like, uh, I want to say cheap. Well, yeah, maybe like cheap about like toilet paper and paper towels. Like they really taught us how to not be wasteful about it. Like you wouldn't just spill something and grab a paper towel like how most people do. You just grab like a kitchen rag or something. And even at the times where we would use a paper towel, my mom would like rinse them and like save them. And obviously I would go to like my friend's house and they were completely different. Like people would just kind of use a couple paper towels for things, or they would like wash your hands and grab some paper towels. If I washed my hands and grabbed a paper towel at my house, that would have been the biggest issue. Like my parents would be like, "Are you freaking crazy? Like you're gonna use a paper towel because you wash your hand? Like use the kitchen rag." And growing up, I was definitely like, "You guys are fucking insane. Like this is." Stupid. Like I go to my friend's house, everybody's just using paper towels. Like, why do I have to use a kitchen rag? And now I have to like rinse the rag. Like, I just didn't understand it. But now that I have to buy my own paper towels and my own toilet paper, I definitely get the angle of wanting to preserve it and be mindful of it. Especially sometimes I have my friends come over and they'll like wash their hands and just grab like a couple paper towels. And I'm like, oh my God, my money. And it's like such a small, I guess, like thing to like hyperfixate on. But obviously, because my parents did it to me, now I like live, breathe, and think about it all the time. And it's something that has stuck. Obviously, saving them or reusing them, like maybe that's a little too extreme for some people, but I'm completely there on board with my parents. And now looking back, I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry that I gave you a hard time because I'm actually rinsing my paper towels too and reusing them for something else. So, oops. Another thing that my parents were super adamant about was kind of taking care of like our furniture and like the cars and just like everything that we own. My parents were very like, they were thorough about like, hey, this is why you take care of these things. Like these things cost money. You don't just like put like a wet cup on top of like this wood furniture. It's gonna ruin it and then it's gonna have cup marks. And we paid a lot of money for this. So this is something that you have to like take care of. These are like the cup holders. You put the cup holder. Is it a cup holder? What are those things called? I think they're cup holders. You know what I'm saying? Like the little thing that you put under your cup and the table. And I used to be like, guys, like relax. This is not gonna ruin the furniture if I just put a little wet cup, like pipe down. Or like in the car, they used to be so like annoying if we would put like our shoes on the dash or anything like that, like anything that would like ruin or mess up furniture or things that we owned. They were very like hawk eyes, like, don't do that, like take care of it. Da, da, da. And I used to be like, what is your issue? Like, I'm sure this little cute cup is not going to ruin my furniture. And fast forward, I actually used to put obviously my cup in my nightstand all the time, like in my room. And, you know, at the end of the story, my furniture definitely did have cup marks and it was like missing paint and it was ruined from my actions. And at the time, it didn't hurt me. I'm like, okay, I don't care. Like, I don't even like this bed set anymore. Like, I'm ready for like a grown up one because I had the cutest like princess bed set, like furniture set. And so ungrateful, I know. But now at my house, I'm like, hey, don't put that there. Oh, be careful with that. Don't put that there. It's going to ruin it. Like, I am so them. Like, I'm literally a carbon footprint copy of their mannerisms and like hyper awareness of how to like take care of your furniture. Like, sometimes my friends will come over for the pod and then they'll like sit on the couch and I'm like, yo, finish that drink before we sit down on the couch. Like, on the couch, we're gonna have water. And if you're drinking something else, you better put all your attention into the motor skills and make sure nothing spills on that freaking couch. So, as much as I hate to admit it, they were absolutely right. Like, furniture does cost an arm and a leg, especially nowadays. Like, back then, obviously, everything still had a price, but now everything's overly priced, inflation, and it's all sucky. And I am definitely super hyper aware of how to take care of my stuff now because of them. So I hate to say it, but they were right. This next one, I feel like is one that we've all heard before, which is make your bed in the morning. And oh my God, my mom was so up my booty about me like making my bed every day, making it nice and not just like half assing it. Like, she would like come into my room and be like, okay, it looks good. Like, I was expected to make it every morning for it to actually look nice, not just like a sloppy make the bed. Like, no, it had to be nice. And I used to be like, this lady is so freaking annoying. Like, I'm gonna just get back home and I'm gonna lay on this bed. Who cares? Like, I used to understand if she wanted like the living room to be like nice and presentable because people came over or whatever. It's just like the common area and it's nice to keep it clean and, nice for everyone. But I'm like, who comes into my room? Just me. Like, why does my bed have to be made every single day? Now I have to wake up extra early for school. I have to make this freaking bed. And all for what? For me to get home and lay on it? Like, this is just like a crazy woman problem. Like, what is your issue? And I hate to admit it, but obviously now I'm like, obviously you should make your bed every day. Not even just from the standpoint of like keeping your house organized and it's nice to walk into your room and, it's like pretty. But apart from that, it is such a huge like step into your day to like wake up and complete a chore. I remember actually it was my freshman year of college and one of my professors, it was a 7 a.m. class, 7 a.m. class. So I used to wake up at the crack of booty hole dawn to get to that class on time. And part of her curriculum was that we had to actually upload a picture to our whatever, like online thing, Canva, I think it was at the time. I don't remember. But we had to upload a picture and it had to have be time stamped. Like, either you had to like screenshot it or like do it on Snapchat. Like, she knew about Snapchat. She was like, you had to have the time on it. Because remember on Snapchat you could like scroll through the filters and it was like a timestamp filter. Or she was like, or you have to have like a real clock in the background where I could see the time and the date. Like, she knew the tricks. Like, she wasn't gonna let nobody lie. And for the whole semester, we all had to make our bed in the morning and it was part of our grade. And her whole reasoning was obviously when you make your bed in the morning, you get like a sense of completion and satisfaction. And it starts off your day with completing a task, which just sets up your momentum with doing other good things for you and kind of like habit stacking. And it's funny because in other habit books that I've read now that I'm more grown, like Atomic Habits or other books like that, or The Compound Effect, they do mention things like making your bed. And actually, I don't know if Atomic Habit mentions it, but I think The Compound Effect, whatever. There's been books that I've read at my grown age now where they obviously reinstate that whole narrative of like, hey, when you start off your mornings with a win, like, you're more likely to keep adding on to that. And so not only was my mom correct on that, but so was like my freshman year professor. And I used to hate both of them so much for this whole making the bed thing. I'm like, this is so extra. Like, I can do other things with my morning. I could sleep in an extra 5, 10 minutes if it wasn't for this stupid bed. But now I love making my bed. Makes me feel like welcomed and like new when I walk into my room. And it does set you up for a win. So I have to give it to my parents and that professor. Making your bed in the morning was definitely the right advice. you're not gonna marry this guy. This is something that I obviously heard so much. I feel like we've all heard that, or like, you're not gonna be with this person forever. It's kind of like the same narrative as like, you're not gonna be friends with this person forever, but it was like in a relationship point where like, hey, you're not gonna be with this boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, for the rest of your life. And at the time, when you're a teenager and your parents are telling you that, and you think you're like in love because you're blinded by like high school puppy love, you're like, what are you talking about? Like, this is the love of my life, mom. Like, I love this person. This person loves me. We're gonna get married. Like, this is gonna last forever. And hindsight, obviously, hello. Like, how many people do you know that like were together since high school? I feel like that's a very minority. Some people actually do stay together from high school or sometimes even like middle school. And it's like the cutest thing ever. But I feel like obviously more often than not, you don't stay with the people you dated in high school or even college for that. Because again, you kind of grow so much and like develop as a person, and your interests keep growing and growing and shifting and shifting. And it's really hard for those interests to kind of align with another person as you're growing up. Like, this is such a pivotal time from like teenager years to like 24, 25. It's like that decade span in your life. You're like spending it growing and evolving. And the chances of you evolving and growing in the same direction as this other person that you're dating in high school or college are kind of slim, you know? So looking back, I'm like, you know what? You guys ate that up. You were absolutely right. And I can't believe that I ever stressed or cried or whatever about a boy that, like, now I look back and I'm like, ew, can you believe you dated that person? Like, gross, lol. But at the time, it feels so real, and it's like all you know. And like, you can't foresee your future when you're like 14, 15, 16. It just feels like this is my future. Like, I get what I'm doing. Like, I know me. You guys are wrong. Like, you guys don't get me. You guys like don't understand me. And obviously, you're just a freaking kid. So they ate that up. Now, this next one is one that it was more like my dad uh telling me this stuff. Like, obviously my mom like agreed, but it was definitely more like my dad. Like, my dad was very against me wearing makeup. I actually wasn't like allowed to wear makeup like when I was young. Like, I remember when I started trying to do my makeup around like 16, and it was like a problem. Like, I had to kind of rebel to actually start wearing makeup and like deal with his backlash, and like I was scared I was gonna get grounded. Like, there was a point in my life where I was like doing my makeup and taking it off before I was getting home. I feel like a lot of girls have like experienced that too, but it's just so funny to think back now. And so my dad was very like adamant about like, hey, don't wear makeup when you're young. Definitely don't be like dyeing your hair and all these things. He used to tell me all the time, like, when you're older and your appearance starts to like fade, or you want to like feel rejuvenized, like, you're gonna want to do these things. And at that point, it's kind of like you need it. But he was like, you don't need this when you're young. Like, it's like you have your youth and your beauty now, and there's gonna be a point where you're full of gray hairs and you're gonna have to dye your hair all the time. And there's no point in like ruining your nice, beautiful hair now and damaging it, and just enjoy the fruits of your youth. Like, you'll have a point where you feel like you want makeup and hair color to like enhance yourself and feel like better. But right now, you should just enjoy this version. And obviously, as like a girl growing up, you're like, Dad, like, I have to do these things so I can be like hot and cool and like fit in. But looking back now, I'm like, oh my God, like, he was absolutely right. And I'm actually glad that he was so adamant about me not wearing makeup, and that it kind of held me back, because when I did start wearing makeup, I was going crazy. I remember there was a couple of years, actually a lot of years of my life, where I didn't want to go anywhere without a full beat. Like, full beat. Like, I'm talking about foundation, powder, wing, like lashes. And as time has went on, I have like dialed back to less and less and less makeup, almost wanting to like imitate like a fresh, no makeup, just like beautifully rolled off of bed look. And that's more often than not like my choice of makeup. And the only time that I dyed my hair was when I was kind of like coming out of high school. I tried to like do highlights and like this weird stuff, and it looked horrible, first of all, on me. Like, it definitely looked horrible, and it did ruin my hair for a little bit. And now this is obviously like my virgin hair. I've had my hair back to like, I don't know, virgin since like then, which is probably like 10 years ago now. And you know what? I completely like agree. I'm like, I'm not even gonna do my hair until I need to do my hair. Like, once them grays start coming in, maybe I'll experiment, maybe I'll like do different stuff. But I'm not touching this hair until I have to. Like, F that. Like, I'm gonna keep this virgin hair just how it is and just like enjoy the fact that I don't need to spend money at a hair salon and, you know, add extra things to my already girl taxed life. And so, sadly, but proudly, I can say my dad was absolutely right. And I didn't need all that makeup or hair or whatever I was trying to do. And I'm kind of glad I did get like forced to wait till I was like 16. But looking back now, I almost wish like I wouldn't have started doing my makeup till like 4 years ago. I'm like, you didn't even, not like makeup, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I wouldn't have gotten to like full beats so young. So he was right. Now, we've all heard the get off that damn phone or it's that damn phone, and it's almost like a meme now online. And I think we can all collectively agree it do be that damn phone. Like, I remember you used to say, like, I have a headache or this or that, and then your parents would be like, it's that phone or it's the TV, or they would just blame it on anything electronic. And I used to just think, like, it's just because you guys are old and you don't want me to, like, be using these things and you're a hater. But now I actually do get headaches and stuff from my phone and I hate it. And I'm like, it really do be that damn phone. And I think we've all collectively like agreed on that. I think that's why it's become like a meme and like a phrase, like it really do be that damn phone. Like our parents were right. And you know what? I think it kind of sums itself up. Our parents were definitely right. It do be that damn phone and also the damn TV. But I feel like now we're also like in our phones that sometimes the TV is like the detox from the phone, which is sad and crazy, but they were right. And finally, you'll understand me when you have your own kids, slash, I'm doing this for your own good. And I think this one like irked everyone the most. Like, our parents used to say that all the time. And it's like, girl, no, like, I'm not going to do this when I have kids. Like, I'll never understand why you're being such a pest. This is ridiculous. And I don't have my own kids yet, but I definitely have arrived at the point in my maturity where I can see why they were doing what they were doing. And whether or not I would do the same parenting style or like completely agree with all of their choices or not, I still now understand that they were doing it for my own good. And I understand like their goal with those punishments or with enforcing certain things on me. And, at the time, I definitely felt very, like, misunderstood by them and, like, "You guys are so ridiculous. Nobody cares about this stuff, only you guys, and it's so unfair. You guys are just, like, wanting to punish me and wanting to ground me and da 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 da." And now I understand them. I do understand where they were coming from. Would I do the same things or mimic their exact parenting style? Maybe not. But I still have gotten to the point where I do understand them. And I felt like at the time, I was like, I'm never going to understand this. I'm never going to understand why you're the way you are, why you're choosing to punish me and do the things that you're doing. Like, none of this makes any sense. You guys are just ridiculous. And I will never, ever, ever agree with you. I hate to say they were right, but they were right, and I do understand them now, and, it's like a full circle moment of understanding why your parents were, like, enforcing certain rules, or, "No, you can't go out with these people," or, "I don't like these little friends," or, "No, you can't go out at this time of night to no party," or, "You are not gonna have a sleep over that person's house, I don't know their parents." All that stuff makes so much sense now, and obviously, I have to, like, tip my hat. Is it tip my hat or take my hat off or whatever? I have to give them credit where credit is due. I feel like a lot of that was obviously called for. And you know what? They were right. So, anyways, that completes my list. There's actually so much more, but you know what? I think that's enough for today. Maybe in the middle of like a part two to this, we'll do things our parents were wrong about because they were also wrong at a bunch of stuff. But you know what? In honor of turning 26 and that frontal lobe development era that I'm in, I felt like what a better time to make a video dedicated to the things that now I understand that my parents were right about. So I hope that you girls enjoyed this video. I hope that you kind of resonated with some of these things because I feel like it's a lot of the same stuff that we all kind of heard growing up. And I think we can all kind of look back now and be like, you know what? I think they were onto something. Like they kind of did eat that up, huh? Even if we don't want to tell them that they were right. But anyways, I love you girls so much. Thank you for sitting here and enjoying this little rant with me. I'll see you girls next Wednesday. Bye.